And they're seeing how it's tied into the Voting Rights Act. So the Supreme Court overrides that portion of the Voting Rights Act, then those red states are going to redistrict ASAP and make sure that the Republicans can pick up 10 to 15 seats.
This is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Hello, and welcome to the Think Tank, where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, and just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased, logical conclusions. Today we're here because Trump says the party in power historically loses midterms. When you think about it, we shouldn't have elections. That is crazy. At least that's my American point of view. But we also have the Honorable Dion Powell here, who represents MAGA, who's a Trump supporter, a MAGA-based fan, and a loyalist to the party who's going to represent the opposite point of view. If this is the kind of content you like, hit that subscribe button.
Hey, everybody, it's District Dion Powell of the Bronx Conservative Party, community consultant and strategic socialist there, helping to organize our people to get civically engaged with some of this content we have here on this platform and beyond. Yeah.
So Trump is self-aware, apparently, a lot more than a lot of people want to give him credit for, because he knows that he's going to get a blue tidal wave in the midterm elections. He knows that he's completely underwater and he can't stop it from happening. He's admitted this when he said, historically we lose the midterms. He's not going to blame himself. Obviously, it's never his fault. But he is correct. Historically, the country shifts the other way from where they voted for in the primaries. They shift the other way from whoever's president toward the other party. This is historically a fact. Hey, everybody, this is your boy Leo. You know me. I've been doing commercials for 15 years, television commercials, radio ads, billboards. Now I'm trying to step it into the big leagues. I want to be an independent filmmaker. I've got the degrees, I've got the experience, and I need your help to make my first independent film, Garrote. So Garrote is Boys in the Hood meets Clue. So these dudes from Brooklyn is trying to buy their drugs to supply the hood. So they go to the mafia stronghold and they purchase their drugs, but one of them turns up dead. And now there's a race to find out who did it. The Godfather's going to send in his hit squad, Squadra Assassina, to take them out. They don't figure out who did it because somebody died on his turf and he's not happy and he can't have stuff like that happening in his business. So please, if you want to show support, my Kickstarter campaign is down in the description box. I told you months and months ago that his plan was to stop the elections. I told you this when ICE got started, that this was a plan to declare martial law and stop the elections. We know that Trump likes to start floating ideas before he does something chaotic, drastic, and deplorable. This is his method. Like attacking other nations, attacking American citizens, stealing people's natural resources, and so forth. What do you think about the idea that I was once again right? I have a record. If I just replace my background with check marks every time I was right about Trump, I could fill the wall up because he telegraphs what he's going to do. And then he does a bunch of nonsense. He backtalks. He does this. He does that. Then he does what he said he was going to do because he can't control his mouth. I think it has something to do with his mental decline. Could be wrong. I'm not a medical doctor, but observance. What do you think about the fact that he's now floating the fact that we don't need a midterm elections? And let me guess, before you answer, is Trump being Trump?
That's right. That's just Trump being Trump, trolling you, the people, to keep your eyeballs and whatever emotion and feeling you have about that man going and keeping his name resonating in his mouth. So that way, he gets the clicks he needs on his Truth Social platform and beyond. So let's keep moving.
So your opinion is, for the record, that he's floating no elections because of his grift and the fact that he wants to promote his True Social instead of doing stuff as president and trying to prevent, war in the world. for instance?
Well, he likes to rattle the media's cage because he knows they're emotionally compromised and they're going to slip up eventually and start putting out some fake news. And he knows that there's a payday at the end of the rainbow of that if and when it happens. And of course, he likes to troll all his haters out there and keep them talking. And so emotionally incensed, again, they lose all rationale and make mistakes. That's the way I would do it. He's a Gemini just like me.
So let me get this right.
Yes.
You think the leader of the free world, the person that the most powerful man in the world, instead of doing his job and let's say trying to stop wars that earn a Nobel Peace Prize rather than twisting the president or the person in charge of the country that he invaded to take hers, instead of doing his job, he's spending his time, what was that word you said? Just grifting? No, that was my word.
I said trolling. Grifting is something else.
Grifting. Well, that's when he's making money
Maybe
over the
there
stuff.
is a difference between grifting and trolling because this man does make a lot of money from this. So maybe it is a grift after all, because trolling.
Oh, it's absolutely a grift.
Okay, well.
But so okay, so we can agree he's grifting. But do you think that's the reason he's not doing his job?
He is doing his job.
He's grifting and trolling people on social media rather than handling important business. This is the man that you're supporting?
Well, he's been in office officially 1 year now, and you should look at the list of his accomplishments. So he has done his job. If you just look at those lists of accomplishments, but the media is not going to report on that, are they?
What we're looking at is a possible third world war, possible war against our allies, war in the streets of Americans, and that's what it is. It's war when you're firing on American citizens, regardless if you're using lethal force or not. When you start firing on American citizens, you've declared war. Let's be clear. War on American citizens. What we're looking at is prices that are skyrocketed. We're looking at is him talking about he's ended wars that are still going on. We're talking about Russia invading Ukraine. We're looking at, because he invaded Venezuela, China now looking at the, it's not the Philippines. Gosh, Korea. I don't know. Probably all of them because it's China. We're looking at an America that is weaker around the world, people that don't want to do business with us, people that don't want anything to do with us, every country in the world hating us and wanting to attack us, and even standing up. Look, he's talking about canceling the midterms. Do you think it's because of all of the stuff I just mentioned? Do you think any of that plays a role in why he might do that?
Well, number one, you said yourself, it's all talk. And that's what he's known for. And no action. Remember Taco? He wants to pay it now? So yes, he's pointing out the fact what everybody's talking about, the elephant in the room, which is the midterms, in which only twice the presidents have accomplished securing and gaining seats during their tenure, whereas the other political party wins. And so he knows where the wind is blowing, so he's going to stoke the fire more so by saying, hey, I'm going to run for a third term, even though we all know on paper
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that he said he wants to cancel the midterms.
I know, I'm just talking about how he just talks and puts things out there that gets people all rattled up.
So this is a man that likes to make money. We agree on that?
Yes.
So do you think he's spending money on Trump 2028 hats because he thinks it's funny? That's really where you're going with this?
That's one of the reasons, yes. And to keep the Trump train and MAGA going, because he knows after this 4 years, that's probably going to be figuring it for him, especially at his age. So why not troll all the way out? But it is one big grift because those hats do sell, and this man makes sure a lot of people get paid.
So do you believe that he's going to allow a midterm to occur, even though he knows that if there is a midterm and the blue tidal wave that we're expecting does occur, they're probably going to, I don't know, maybe kick him out of office, maybe press charges on him and most of his administration, as well as ICE officers and everybody else. Can you agree that that would probably be the outcome of a midterm election?
Well, so far as a political consultant, yes, the outcome of this election this fall, or November rather, does look grim. However, the hope is the Supreme Court overturning a portion of the Civil Rights Act, so that way Republicans may gain 10 to 15 seats when it comes to redistricting. That's something the media is not going to report on right now, and they have to wait and see.
So your hope, you as a black man, your hope is that
you as a black man, yeah.
Well, it was just Martin Luther King Day a couple of days ago. So I got to put that out there. So your hope is that they overturn what Martin Luther King died for so that MAGA can get more seats and stop this depraved lunatic from running this country?
I'm just giving you the facts. That's the only hope for them to win this November. That's one fact that the media is not reporting on that you should know. Redistricting is still in courts, and there's still time for states to actually redistrict in a Republicans' favor, because right now the Democrats have exhausted all their redistricting options because they've already gerrymandered the heck out of this country. Look at Massachusetts, 0 Republican Congress people.
No, stop it. We've gone over this a million times. Republicans have gerrymandered far more than Democrats. The numbers are there. We're not doing this again. Stop lying to the people. We've already done this. I'm not pulling it up again. Are you going to make me pull it up again? Is that what I got to do? I got to pull it up again? You going to make me show this? Or are you going to just stop lying?
You have a 10-minute window. Use it wisely.
Okay, so you're going to make me show it. No, just the fact that you said that should be enough evidence that the people know that you're trying to get around the evidence. Unbelievable. So, let me ask this question again since you didn't answer it. Do you think that the reason Donald Trump wants to stop this midterm election from happening is because the blue tidal wave that we see coming is likely to occur, and that the end result of that would be an impeachment? But this time, if the numbers are what they look like they're going to be, with even 48% of Republicans disapproving of Trump's biggest category, which is immigration, with being underwater with Republicans the way he is, even the gerrymandering they're doing might not work. Let's just say that. Do you think that the fear is that he might have a fear that there'll be accountability, impeachment, jail for him if he's alive that long because of his mental health and physical decline? What about the rest of his ICE agents that go into jail for his entire party? Do you think that they might fear that accountability will be a result of a blue tidal wave where a lot of them might get locked up? Do you think that a blue tidal wave might bring that in, and Trump might look at that and might want to stop midterm elections in order to prevent that accountability? Do you think that's a possibility?
No. I think it's a concern, yes, that everybody's aware of. He's just pointing out the obvious and trolling and grifting off it like he always does.
So you don't think, I just want to be clear on this.
I can't say clear than no. The answer is no. They are not scared. Concerned is the word I would use.
So I just want to be clear. You're saying that there might be concern that if Democrats win the midterms by a large portion, there will be a successful impeachment and accountability where ICE agents, MAGA representatives from the top seat on down might wind up in jail? You're saying there's concern for that?
There's concern that they will lose the midterm. That's number one. Number two, and I said this conversation the other day, he's not going to jail. So let's get that out of everybody's mind. He's not
going to jail, but he might lose. But what about his seat of power? What about his seat of power from an impeachment and everybody underneath him?
Well, again, with the impeachment they've gone through twice. Do you actually remember why he was impeached those two times? I'll put that bug in your ear for your own research. He's not getting removed from office. He's
He
not.
can't get wait, he wasn't getting removed from office before. But now even Republicans are talking about turning on him if he continues the path he's on with going after Greenland. So there's Republicans supporting
Marjorie
it. If
Taylor
there's a
Greene is not in Congress anymore, Leo.
I'm not talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You obviously not paying attention. The Republicans are now saying that if he goes after Greenland, there
Oh,
might they right there's impeachment. Oh, you saw third. So let's be clear. If he continues on the path he's on, even Republicans will turn on him. And if there's a blue tidal wave, they will have the numbers to impeach him this time. What happened in the past is irrelevant. We're talking about numbers and math. I know that's not a MAGA thing. I'm not bringing up, oh no, not math. No, no, no,
in the
not math,
past
not
is
math.
relevant. That's called history. That's the problem. People keep falling flat on their face. They're ignoring history. The man was impeached twice. The general public has fatigue. They don't care anymore. It's not working.
Right, history. Wow, history matters for once. I love hearing that from MAGA. That's
It always
wonderful.
does.
If that's the case, then you wouldn't be talking about the Voters' Rights Act in a negative way. It only matters to you when it matters.
But negative,
But
I'm just giving you the facts. They're waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision on these redistricting lines, and they're seeing how it's tied into the Voting Rights Act. So if the Supreme Court overrides that portion of the Voting Rights Act, then those red states are going to redistrict ASAP and make sure that the Republicans can pick up 10 to 15 seats. Isn't that interesting?
yes, they're trying to cheat. Got it. So outside of that, let's stick to the topic. Do you believe that his concern for the outcome of a blue wave, which would give them the numbers that they need to successfully impeach him, versus the last two times when they didn't have the numbers because there was such a thin margin? This time it would be a
That's not true,
overwhelming.
Leo. He got impeached twice.
And they didn't have the numbers, or he'd have been gone. This time they
You
might
want
have the
them
numbers. Is that
removed. Just
correct?
say you want the man removed. You want
No,
them
I'm
impeached
asking
and
a
removed.
specific question that you're ignoring, that you're talking around. If there's a successful blue wave, then those numbers might change. No,
If they take the House and the Senate, maybe, just maybe they can remove him. I don't know. Because a lot of these Congress people know the political consequences of such an action. Because if you
but
thought
they also see.
insurrection
It seems that they're
before,
starting to see the consequences of no action as well.
they are doing action. They do everything to obstruct and just argue for the sake of arguing against Trump. And very counterproductive.
So you don't think he's worried? You don't think that his concern? You don't think that he sees that a blue wave might end him out of office and his party, most of his party, in jail? You don't think that the reason he's talking about ending or possibly ending or not needing a midterm election is because of accountability? That's your honest belief.
I believe he's just concerned, maybe borderline worried of a blue wave this November coming.
But that's not the reason he's talking about not having midterms. That has nothing to do with him saying, we might not need midterms. It has nothing to do with that, right? That's just Trump being Trump.
Yes, I've said that before, and I keep saying it again. When I know for a fact in my heart he is trolling or grifting. I guess we can put that word.
Every time you say that, he commits. Every time you've said that historically, he's done the very thing I said he was going to do. We are clear on this, right? I'm always like
running
I
for
was
a
right
third
again.
term. Like running for a third term.
Yes, like running for, if he's alive, which he probably won't be. He's too sick. But I do believe in his heart he wants to. Have I always been like my track record is that I'm right?
If he had the option, yes, I'm sure he would. That's his vanity. People have to understand how Trump's vanity works. So
we're not talking about running for a third term. We're talking about canceling the midterms. Do you think that knowing there are consequences and accountability is inevitable if he loses, that might cause him to say things like, maybe we don't need a midterm election, knowing that historically, as he said in his own words, the party in charge loses the midterms. You're not putting all this together. 2 and 2 is not making 4. It's making 22.
I think I've made my position very clear to the audience. I don't know what you want me to say, but you should put in the chat for me to read a script at this point.
All right. So that's it. Hardcore MAGA people don't see the inevitability of what's about to occur. We as a people must protect our elections. It's probably the only thing to stop us from going into either civil war or World War III. We must protect our elections. Any closing thoughts, Dion?
Yes, we are the media, and now so are you. So make sure that algorithm pays attention to us by sharing our content and adding yours on top of it. So that way we can get more of this real news out there.
This is Leo and Dion signing out.